Everyone craves space and wants things to stay tidy, but climbing conventional attic stairs is risky, and renting storage is costly and inconvenient. A rack above has the solution. A freestanding overhead storage rack that requires no drilling, no attachment, and no garage cleaning. It's the safest, smartest, and strongest way to store your extra items at home and within reach. Your garage items are off the floor and your car is inside. Your peace of mind is restored. Be it in a patio villa or a premier home, a rack above fits your space and keeps you safe. Use it here, then take it to your next home. A rack above. Well, good afternoon, everybody. It's Don, and welcome to Gold Wingnut Live. I'm your host, Don Wiley, and we will talk about the things that you're interested in. We'll talk about the news, anything about the villages. We'll talk about drones, you name it. Wow, we got 60 people on already. So today's sponsor is A Rack Above. A Rack Above is a unique storage solution for your garage. Some garages don't have the room for shelves and things like that. This puts the storage above your vehicle. You can still walk underneath it, and it's a lot more convenient than your typical shelves on the side. It doesn't get in the way of anything. It's reclaiming that free space. So if you're interested, get a hold of Steve over at A Rack Above. His number's right there on the screen. Excuse me. Wow. We also have a new sponsor again, Scoop and Deuces. They are a yard cleanup service for those of us that have pets. They come once a week, clean up your yard. I believe it starts at about $89.99 a month. So if you've got like a courtyard villa or a veranda where you have a fenced-in yard and maybe you're not cleaning it up as often as you'd like, they can come over and take care of things for you. And all right, so wow, we got a couple of things going on here. So let's see. Yes, I'm sure some of you have noticed the new logo. As I hinted at last week, I have started rebranding. This goes back, jeepers, 6-7 months ago. I really started giving it serious thought when I was on a cruise right before Christmas. Yeah, it was at Christmas. And really it goes back to this broadcast. I wanted the name and the logo to, well, be more fresh and to reflect more of what I'm doing with my channel. And it's more of a media channel instead of a production channel. So that's kind of it. The logo has been around, the old logo had been around for almost 7 years. Oh no, almost 9 years, excuse me. I thought it was time for some freshening up. So let's see. Mark wants to know if there's any natural water springs in the villages south of the turnpike, and where are they, and what is the water used for? The only one I know of is over by Finney, and it bubbles up and it goes, I'm not sure where, but it's not used for anything. It's just a natural spring. William Russo said, hello, village people. Yes. Love the new logo. Great. Thanks for your updates. Chris wants to know, when is the renovation for Lake Sumter Landing boardwalk area to begin? I'm not really in the loop on that one anymore, but my understanding is that they're moving forward. So normally these things take a couple of weeks to mobilize and get things on track once they pulled the string to start work. Let's see. Scoop and Deuces, love it. Yeah. Hey, you know what? It's a great service. You know, and it's actually a growing service. I've seen when I was researching them, I saw lots and lots of different companies that are doing the same thing. It's not the most fun and exciting thing to do, cleaning up the yard, especially if you've got big dogs like I do. They leave big surprises. Let's see. Rick wants to know, hoping you can get some answers about stagnant water in retention ponds like the one on by 466A in Morris. Stay well. So the retention ponds really the only inflow they have is from street drains. Um, that's their normal source of water. We haven't been getting a lot of rain. This is the dry season for us here in Florida. So the retention ponds are slowly going down due to evaporation, and they're utilized for irrigation. So they're not going to get turned over. There's no fresh water to replace the water in there. That's why if you read your contract when you purchase your home, if you've got a waterfront lot, they all say not guaranteed to contain water, or the level isn't guaranteed, or words to that effect. But it'll, you know, look, come June, when the rains start coming, there's going to be plenty of water in there, and they're going to be spraying like crazy, trying to keep the water levels under control. What is the construction at Brownwood Theater? Still don't know yet. I been a busy week, so I really haven't had a chance to check on that. Theo says, "Hi Don, closing on Thursday. Says the villagers reset the locks prior to closing, so that the master key the builders have no longer work. No need for a locksmith." So yes, they do. I believe they use Quickset for their lock sets. I'm trying to think. Yeah, both of my houses have had the Quickset locks. There is a master key that they use, and once you take possession of your home, they insert the I don't know what you call this little tool into a hole, and you got to have the active key in there, and then you change the keys and pull the device out, and the keys are changed. And yeah, it's not a big deal. This is how all the locks in your house are keyed the same. So let's see. Yeah, you don't need a locksmith. When I changed in my courtyard villa, I changed from the standard lever locks. Not enough coffee in me today. I changed from the standard lever handset to the decorative ones with the you push your thumb down on it and that. Because it was the same brand, the Quickset, the key works by just rekeying it. It's pretty easy to do. Let's see. Loved 154. Great information. Working on number 9 for the shorts. Some really good information in that. There we go. Let's see. How many phases will Middleton have? I don't know. I think they've plotted phase 8. Middleton's supposed to have 8,300 homes, 8,200 homes, somewhere in that neighborhood. They're just done in phases. It's not a big deal. It's still all of Middleton. The real catch is, watching the number of homes. Let's see. VS says, "Don, thanks for all you do. Do you have any thoughts or understanding of the retail restaurant square footage comparison between Brownwood, Eastport? Curious for an amount of things to explore." So Brownwood has more retail square footage as far as I can tell. You got to understand, Brownwood's not completely built out yet. There's still quite a bit of space. If you go down by 2J's, there's that whole big area across the street from that. That's eventually going to be retail. Looking at Eastport, there is a lot of retail, but I think it's more focused, honestly, on the entertainment value. I mean, with the waterfront boardwalk or waterfront pavilion there for the band, and the whole waterfront area just is much more geared towards entertainment than it is towards retail. My understanding is there's only going to be 4 or 5 restaurants at Eastport. because it's not on, all four sides like the other town squares. There's less room for buildings, but they are making good use of what they do have. The other part too is close at hand is Middleton. I've seen a drawing that showed 11 different locations for food establishments in Middleton, and this was a year ago that I saw this. So, and there's a lot more retail space there than there is in Eastport. So the two of them together really are going to make for a very robust commercial area between the two, and they're only about, I think if you go down Bar Boulevard, it's a mile and a half, maybe not much more than that. You can go down Bar, or you can go down Central Parkway. Let's see. Mark says, Tom from Surf to Turf did our home inspection last week. Did a great job finding documenting issues. They even said they will submit to warranty on our behalf. Great service. Yeah. I know, Mark, you were one of my customers a year ago. I took pictures of your home, and you are coming up on the 1 year point. And if you are coming up on the 1 year point, get your home inspected, get it checked. I recommend Tom from Surf to Turf, but there are other good inspectors out there too, and they all do the same thing. They'll all submit normally any warranty issues. You want to make sure that anything that can be covered is covered. This is your most expensive investment, your home, and for a couple of $100 to have somebody professional who's going to climb up on the roof and look at things. He's going to go up in the attic and look at things. Stuff that, I'm sorry, the days of me climbing a ladder, no, I'm not climbing on the roof anymore. I'm done with that. So get your home inspected. It's definitely worthwhile. The same thing when you first close. You got a week to put that first claim in. When you know what your closing date is, schedule an inspection for that day or the day after, so you have plenty of time to get it done. We as homeowners are going to walk in and we're still in our ooh and ah stage when we buy a new home, and we're not seeing some of the things that a professional inspector will see. So it's worth the time and effort. Let's see. Enjoy the updates for 154 on commercial areas. Can you have more? Can I have more? Not sure exactly what you're wanting. I mean, is there going to be more? Is there a 155? Yeah, 155 is right here right now. Tomorrow is my kind of an easy day. The biggest thing on my agenda for tomorrow is finishing reviewing the agenda for the county commission meeting that happens on Tuesday, and of course answering the stacks of email that comes in. Beyond that, I'm going flying. I got to get the footage shot so I can get the 155 ready. 150 or 5-minute update number 9. Videos in a can. The map overlay is done. You're going to like this map when you see it too. But it's just a matter now of doing the voiceover. And I might do that tonight after playing samba. It depends on how much fun we have playing samba. Anyway, let's see. Village Insider says, Hi, Don. What's the update on the State Road 44 and Morse Boulevard improvement? We need a right turn going south on Morse Boulevard ASAP. So we don't just build roads. We don't enlarge things. There is a study in progress. They're doing traffic counts and things like that. And that's supposed to be done, what did Mr. Arnold say? I think in May. We'll have the results back and we'll figure out where we go from there. And then it has to be budgeted, designed. It's going to take a while. You just don't build roads instantaneously. If you do, they are very expensive when they're short triggered like that, short fused like that. VS says, anything exciting going on in the county that is going to impact the villages you can speak to at this time? Let's see. So we're moving forward with federal funds for a roundabout, a traffic circle at 475 and 466 out by I-75. That intersection's been problematic for years, and that's fully funded by grants, so it's not costing us as a county. Big thing that we're looking at also is where 470 hits 301. Right now, it's a stop sign, or excuse me, is it a stop? It's a traffic light, and it's a T intersection. There is a project on in the works for making that go straight through, and then eventually curving south and regaining the current 470 path, and then reworking the 471 301 interchange. That's a terrible interchange. 20 years ago it was fine. Traffic patterns have changed in 20 years, so that's really what's driving it. That's where the new SECO facility is going in. They're expanding their presence here in Sumter County. Whew, all right. Loving the new intro. Thanks. Are all the new areas in Lake County? No, actually, they're not building any more right now in Lake County, except for maybe that commercial area south of 470 across from Megason. That's where eventually Fire Station 50 will go. But everything else is in Sumter County, which is good because our taxes are lower than Lake County. Jay Cozy said, "Hi Don, if I'm not mistaken, I think your new home is a veranda. If so, did you get it through the lottery? And how was your experience? It seems the demand is so great now, chances are not good." So demand is high for veranda homes. When I moved here 11 years ago tomorrow, I noticed that when I was doing the intro, it's like the 6th of April. We closed on the 7th of April in 2014 on our home in the village of Hillsborough. Back then it was whoever was fastest on the keyboard. Now it's not really a lottery, it's just a random pick by the computer. You put in your 3 choices for the day. So let's say, for us, when we were looking at our investment property, which is what it was at the time, we chose 12, 9, and I think it was 4. Yeah, so I think it was 4, 9, and 12 were our choices. And I think, in fact, it was 9, 4, 12 was our preference. We got number 12. It was our first time doing a pick. It was the 4th set of offerings that the realtor brought to us. The first couple we didn't like either because of location. They backed right up to Bar Boulevard, or the price was just a little too far out of budget. So, but it was a fairly easy thing. We put in our choices the day before. Trisha Coe was our realtor. She did a great job. And then the next morning, I got a call that we had gotten number 9. It was very straightforward. They don't. There's no favorites played. I give the villages great credit for the integrity that they have with this system. They don't play favorites. Nobody gets any special picks. Um, so it's a good system though. There's such demand. I will say that looking at what's coming to Oak Hollow, appears to be quite a few veranda homes coming to Oak Hollow. There's a big section that's under construction right now, and there's another section that just started construction. All right, let's see. Loving the new logo. Okay. Let's see. All right. Dreamcatcher 1982 says, do you think all the nice, large, and numerous retention ponds south of Central Parkway will be able to handle all the rains from a tropical storm or hurricane as well as they do farther north? Absolutely. I absolutely do. I think we've got more volume, more capacity when you start looking at the ponds south of the turnpike. They started going with much larger retention ponds instead of smaller ones. This has the advantage, obviously, from an operating cost because you got less equipment to maintain. So instead of having 4 small pumps, they might have 1 or 2 larger pumps. So less equipment to break down, things like that. It's a huge amount of water. Some of these ponds are a mile long. They're huge, and with the slopes on the edges, it's almost impossible for the pond to flood enough to damage the homes, because there's always a low side on the wall or the edge of the pond that allows it to flood into a street or some other area before it'll ever flood your house. So that's a good thing. And I know there's a lot of people concerned about FEMA flood ratings. There is an update to the FEMA flood maps that is going into the county GIS system. It just takes time. There's a lot of data to enter. Let's see. Central Parkway, we talked about that. Veranda, we talked about that. Jerry wants to know, from someone purchasing a spec home, what are your 5 to 10 recommendations on what they should do before and after closing? Before closing, it's a pretty straightforward process. The only thing I would say before closing is get yourself lined up with a home inspector. The other thing I would do, one of the cost-saving measures that they've been doing lately that I've seen, is less and less rain gutters. I'm a firm believer in rain gutters to keep the water away from the foundation of the house. I would find myself a rain gutter person. I used Hills seamless gutters. And I would get them lined up. They can go out there and measure before you close. That's 2 things I would definitely do. Beyond that, after you close, that's really personal preference. We knew that we hated the chalky white builder's grade paint that is used. So we went ahead and arranged to have the house painted. The other thing we did was crown molding. I put crown molding in my house when I lived in Haines City. I did it myself, and I absolutely love the way it changed the house. It really makes it such a huge difference. Our courtyard villa, we were in it about 2 years, and I hired Creative Finish Carpentry to come in and do the crown molding and trim work. They did a fabulous job. When we bought the new house a year ago, that was one of the things that I had They did the painting, they did the crown molding. It was done all in one day. Some people like to do the decorative garage flooring. That's personal choice. You know, once you get the house squared away, or locked in, and when you're gonna close on it, you can get a hold of one of those driveway painters. Beyond that, little things are going to be your choice. For me, we hated the blinds, so we had plantation shutters put in. There's several good plantation shutter companies around. Those take about a month for production because they're all pretty much custom made. So that's another high priority item that we thought. So I am a technology geek. I knew that eventually where my office was going to be, stringing more Ethernet cables. I'm a firm believer in wired network connectivity for the main work, or for the main things that I do, just because it's much faster than wireless. Wireless is very convenient, but so I had extra Ethernet jacks put in. Yeah, that's really the big things. Maybe one of the things that we also did was we contacted T&D again, had a dog door put in the lanai because we have a veranda. It made sense eventually to have the dog door put in, so it was done. Let's see. Sorry, I'm just trying to catch up here. Lost my place. Hi, Don. Okay, so this is from Jeff. He says, "Hi, Don. It's interesting that the small city of Wildwood now expanded to a geographical area that rivals a large city. Why are the newer areas in the south being absorbed into Wildwood?" So actually, Wildwood encompasses, with the exception of the part in Lake County, all of the villages that's remaining to be built in the retirement community. Let me pull up the map. I'll show you. We'll switch over to the web browser. That way you guys can see what I'm looking at. So all this down here. So this is Middleton right here. Eastport's right here. You can see the Long Lake. But all of this down here, except for when you get just to the right of this vertical line right here, this is Lake County. But all the rest of this is the city of Wildwood. They expanded their boundaries. I'm not sure the exact date when they expanded them, but it was several years ago to encompass all of what was going to be the villages. So let's get back to there. Okay. But yeah, I don't know the logic. Obviously, they are reaping the benefits, with the increased property tax revenue. Hopefully, they spend it wisely. So Mick Chuckpa, I'm sorry. Hi, Don. Do most people mulch or bag their grass clippings in the villages? I always mulched. Unless I let it go too long, then I would bag it, just because it became too much laying on the ground. Most people that I've seen have a service, and that depends on the service what you have them contracted to do. Let's see. Hi, Don. Will you let us know what facility is going to be built at the intersection of 301 and Warm Springs that now the grading has started? That is a new 7-Eleven. That one's been in the works for about a year, and they finally started work. So that's also one of the areas I'm going to be covering in 155. Oh boy. VS says Wildwood wants the tax revenue. That's why we need Wiley as mayor in the future. The problem with running for mayor is then I got to get a lawyer because I think my wife will leave me. She's tired of this politics stuff. But thank you. Okay. Let's see. Villages Insider says, can you talk about the new massive Walmart being built on State Road 44 in Morse? Any new date of opening and any traffic concerns? Obviously, there are traffic concerns. It is being built. They are moving very quickly. In an upcoming video, I'm going to do a side-by-side comparison to show where Costco is compared to Walmart in construction. Costco's been under construction now for since the first of the year. And man, if you look at Walmart, it's catching up real quick. So, but as far as a date, I have not heard any date. Obviously, they want it as quick as possible. They got a lot of money invested. They don't make a dime until the store opens. All right. But yeah, traffic is obviously a concern. I have not seen the layouts for the road plans for those that that are feeding in and out. I know that there's supposed to be an entrance on 44, and there's supposed to be an entrance on Morse Boulevard right now, where the construction entrance is. I haven't seen all the traffic data yet on it though, so we'll see. Let's see. Oh, Becky wants to know, is Wildwood in Sumter County? Yes, Wildwood is the largest city in Sumter County. There are only 5 cities in Sumter County. There's Wildwood, Bushnell, Center Hill, Webster, and Coleman. Let's see. Boom, 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 boom. Messages are coming in. Guys, okay, let's see. Well, we got 193 people on. Thanks everybody for tuning in. We're going to answer one more. We're going to take a quick break. I got to stretch my legs. Did all the new garden villas off Marsh Bend Trail sell out? And if so, how fast? They are very interesting style. So Dreamcatcher, they are not all sold. Last I looked. You know what? Let's take a look. And we'll transition back so you guys can see what I'm looking at. And we go homes, search homes, and blah, blah, blah. There they are. Okay. Whoa. So those new garden villas, these are right there. So the gray dots are still up for sale. I personally think they're interesting from a the standpoint. If you look at this picture here, there's a gate, and that gate leads to the front door. So you've got the whole side and backyard all as one large area. If you have a dog, that would be pretty cool, I think. All right. So let's take just a few seconds break. I'm going to top off my coffee. I'll be right back. Everyone craves space and wants things to stay tidy, but climbing conventional attic stairs is risky, and renting storage is costly and inconvenient. A Rack Above has the solution. A freestanding overhead storage rack that requires no drilling, no attachment, and no garage cleaning. It's the safest, smartest, and strongest way to store your extra items at home and within reach. Your garage items are off the floor and your car is inside. Your peace of mind is restored. Be it in a patio villa or a premier home, a Rack Above fits your space and keeps you safe. Use it here, then take it to your next home. A Rack Above. All right, I'm back. I got more coffee, so we're good to go. Let's see. Any truth to the rumor about villages grown moving? I heard that rumor this past week I don't have any good information on it yet. It's something I'm definitely going to look into. I know that what is it? Provisions. They're opening a place in Middleton, and they already have one in Sawgrass Grove, where the old Villagers Grove market is. I think there was some business relationship going there, but again, I don't have good data on that yet. But once I find something out, I'll try and let you know. Almost 30 garden villas still for sale. Yep. So Richard S. says, do you notice non-villagers using amenities without anyone checking ID? This took longer to roll up on the list than I expected because it's been a hot topic. You know, I've heard of it being a problem on some of the peripheral areas, but you know, I don't see it as a big problem. You know, I used to go to the Hillsborough pool a lot, even though I had my own. It was nice to socialize without the dogs, because my dogs were always in a pool when I was in a pool. But you know, never saw anybody there that wasn't either a resident or a guest of a resident. You know, I'm not saying it doesn't happen, because I'm sure it does, especially up in some of the northern areas, because there's a lot more overflow from some of the neighboring areas. And a lot of that is golf cart accessible. So I can see it there, but I really haven't seen it as a big issue. Let's see. Gene Smith wants to know, Don, did you do sub duty at Portsmouth, New Hampshire? Some refer to it as Kittery. I never was at Portsmouth or Kittery. I was stationed in Groton, Connecticut on 3 different ships, the Webster, the Carver, and the Topeka. Webster and Carver outfitted or refitted out of Holy Loch, Scotland, and that's where we ran our patrols out of. We flew back and forth to Scotland every 3 months. And then I did almost 9 years in Kings Bay, Georgia, just north of Jacksonville, across the state line. And but that was it. So no, never did Kittery, Maine. Jerry Bell says lightning rods attract lightning. Dreamcatcher. Okay. Oh, here we go. I see. I missed one. Sorry about that. Dreamcatcher 1982 says, what are your thoughts on the effectiveness of lightning rods? I see the Villages puts them on most all of their properties. Yes, the higher buildings, you know, definitely. You know, lightning rods will help, okay? But there is nothing man-made that will stop the damage from lightning. It's such a massive amount of energy released at once. You know, all you can hope is to shunt as much of it to ground using a lightning rod. If you are concerned, then by all means go for it. You will see that not many homes here in the Villages have them. You know, the bigger commercial areas, the buildings are taller, so they tend to attract more lightning. Obviously, the water towers and cell towers also attract more lightning. You know, it's an effective tool, but you know, once you take one hit, you've got to get your system inspected and probably replaced, because it's probably going to vaporize a lot of the cabling. Let's see, VS wrote, I feel like the challenge with the garden villas is they are a bit aggressive with pricing compared to courtyard villas and even verandas. Yeah, I was a little surprised too at the pricing. I haven't been into one yet to look around, so I don't feel I can really comment on, is it a good value? I don't know. I've seen the floor plans. I like some of the floor plans. I don't like others. They're a little bit bigger from what I can tell, square footage wise, than some of the courtyard villas. Almost all of them have a golf cart garage. It's not the 2.5 doors, though. It's 2 doors, and then there's a large area for the golf cart on the side. So there's some value there. What yeah. Again, without going into them and really looking around and getting a feel for them, I don't feel like I'm qualified to really say, is it too high or not? I don't know. Anytime you put a pool in, also, man, that pools are expensive these days. When I put mine in, it's been 7 or 8 years ago now. I spent $86,000 on a pool, and that was pretty steep, considering that 5 years earlier I had put one in for 42. But now it's like almost 200,000 for the same pool that I put in. So it's crazy. Let's see. Okay, we talked about that one. Like to subscribe. Mike wants to know, do you know why a fire district fee for CDD 15 was $239.43 and is less than other CDDs of $320? You know what? I knew the answer to this. Because it's not the first time it's been asked. I know part of it is there is a component that is based on the value of the property, but that's really a very small portion of it. I gotta look at this one again. I don't remember why. It should be the same this year, though. Let's see. Lisa says, "Hi, Don. Do you think it would be an issue if grandparents took their kids to, I'm assuming you mean Middleton playgrounds?" Yes, the Middleton playgrounds are for the residents of Middleton. She even says in her next message, Middleton. Sorry. So those are for the children that live in Middleton, for the residents of Middleton, and not for Village's residents. So, I guess the question is, how would you feel if Middleton kids were over in the Shady Brook pool? You'd probably be upset, and justifiably so. So, yeah, I think it's an issue. Let's see. Pam wants to know, "Hey, Don, on the golf cart path heading to the new healthcare facility at Eastport, how do you get there by golf cart? They've closed the roundabout to traffic on the cart path." Pam, I'll be honest with you. I haven't been there in a while. I've only taken the golf cart, I think, twice from the Moultrie Creek house to. I took it from Moultrie Creek to Hillsborough once just to see how long it was. That was a 45-minute golf cart ride. But I haven't been down the golf cart path by the healthcare facility at all. So I don't know. I wish I had an answer. I'll try and get out there this week and take a drive down there. Let's see. And many don't have islands in the kitchen. I'm shocked. Kitchens look incomplete. Okay, Becky, I'm assuming you're probably talking about the garden verandas. Yeah. Let's see. Hi, Don. Do you know what is being built on 301 close to the turnpike? I'm assuming you're talking about the Horizon development. It's on the west side of 301, north of the turnpike. That's 8 units, some sort of retail establishment. That's all I know. So yeah. Are the children driving golf carts on the south side on the police radar, or do they let it slide? asking for a friend. I hate that asking for a friend comment. So you would have to talk to Wildwood Police Department because that's all in Wildwood's jurisdiction. I know that recently the laws changed concerning golf carts. I don't remember what they are. Obviously, at 64 years old, the minimum age for driving a golf cart really doesn't impact me. Let's see. John says, as of right now, there is no golf cart accessibility to the village's health in Eastport. I believe there's too much construction. That wouldn't surprise me. We'll have to see. Climbing the fence in your yard. Okay. I'm not sure where you're going with that one, Mark. Climbing. Yeah. Okay. So, man, kind of disjointed here. Yeah. So, if they're, I'll tell you what I've seen though with the golf carts is when I was driving through, I want to say it was Hawkins. Yeah, Hawkins the other day. There was like an 8-year-old driving a golf cart, and Grandpa was sitting next to him. And it's like, these aren't toys. These are transportation, and there are laws associated with it. I don't recommend letting the grandchildren operate the golf cart. It's just not safe, not with all the traffic around there. Steve says you have to have a driver's license to drive a golf cart legally. I know that it used to be you could operate a golf cart if you were 14. Again, that changed last year, and I don't remember what the change was. I apologize. Too many things happen, and I'm trying to keep track of it one time. So wow, we got almost 200 people on the stream today. This is great. Thanks everybody for joining in. So I gotta encourage you to take a look at some of my sponsors here. Fur and Away, Eric. I spoke with Eric the other day when he did Lily and Sully again. It's great. It's costing me the same as the groomer I used to take him to in Brownwood. Same price. And I don't have to rustle them into the truck or the car and then make multiple trips. They get done right at the house. It's awesome. He has openings available. So I know he's heard a few times that people would say, I didn't think you had any openings. Just because everybody else is booked. He has openings. He's still a relatively new company. So Fur and Away, Eric does a great job. Let's see. Country Village Power Equipment and Golf Carts. They're down in Webster across from the flea market. Great prices. You can talk to Nate. He is the manager of the store. He'll help you out. If you run into me and you're thinking about going to there, I keep in my truck some $500 coupons that you can use over at Country Village. So if you catch up with me, give me a call, whatever, I'll be more than happy to give you one. Excuse me. Of course, kitchen-wise and closet-wise, great folks there. Scott does some nice work with your cabinetry in the closets, as well as the kitchen cabinets. All right, we got a few things coming in here. Golf cart legally is 15 years old if they have a permit. Okay, driver's license or permit, 16 or older. Okay, so some differing things, we'll have to look at it. So Keeman says, do you talk about things that's happening in Wildwood or just the villages? Just wondering. Anything in Sumter County is fair game. Not so much in Lake County. I got enough to keep track of. I know in Wildwood, I was just there for the groundbreaking of a new restaurant, and it's a restaurant and some sort of golf facility right across the street from City Hall. This is part of the downtown redevelopment that's going on in Wildwood. It should be an interesting establishment. I talked to the owners while I was there. It'll be about a year before they open. Becky wants to know, hi Don, can you talk about grocery shopping around the new areas? So right now, you have in the new areas, you're going to go up to Publix at Magnolia Plaza, which is extremely busy, I know. There is, my research says a Publix is going in at Eastport, but I've heard conflicts on that also, and it looks like also some sort of grocery store in Middleton. When they're going to start building, I have no idea. As far as the rest of the grocery shopping, if you don't want to go to Publix at Magnolia Plaza, there's Aldi up on 466. There's also a Winn-Dixie and an Aldi up on 466A. Right there in front of Lowe's, there's also a Publix there, and across the street at Pinellas Plaza, there is a Winn-Dixie. Myself, my favorite place to go shopping is Fresh Market. Love their meat department. Great steaks, good salmon. Everything's great. Nothing bad to say about it, other than the produce prices are a little steep. Patricia, again, as far as I know, Publix is coming to Eastport. When it's going to start, I don't know. Any update on the drone issue? So I have not heard any feedback with my discussions from the week before with the villages. There was a lot of speculation on Talkative Villages. And it's amazing how much people know about things that I'm supposedly working on that I know nothing about. Speculations on what kind of agreement's going to happen and things like that. But at this point, it's been quiet on the other side, so we'll see what happens. I guess it's a difference of interpretation of what the law says at this point. Jerry wants to know, will there be a gym in the new area? From what I have seen and the information I've seen, yes, one is planned. I think it's supposed to be Genesis. It'll be off of Landstone. On the side closer to Moultrie Creek. So there's a big plot there. That's actually right behind the house I own in Moultrie Creek. Let's see. Let's see. Tammy says, we need a grocery store down here bad. Magnolia Plaza parking lot is always full, hard to find a parking spot at times. I've been ordering groceries from Kroger Delivery. Yeah, I know. In business, you got to have the customers before you open your business. If you build it, they will come is a failure for a business plan. The manager at Magnolia Plaza, okay, so Diz Villager says the manager at Magnolia Plaza told me they're building in the new area. Okay, so yeah, you know as much as I do at that point. What's on the grill? Jerry wants to know. We're playing cards tonight, so Debbie is cooking, and I got to stop and get whipped cream for daiquiris. Ladies drink daiquiris. There you go. Catherine H. says, there's lots of shopping at 470 and 27. 470, yes. Yep, there is. And it's really not that far. And honestly, with the traffic in some of the areas, it's pretty easy to get to. So no, I didn't get to the Harry and the Natives meet and greet this week. I had something else on my schedule. So Diz Vilcher says, a cashier at Magnolia Plaza told me once they break ground, it's 2 years till they open. I said, I hope that's not true. I mean, and the greeter at Walmart told me something different. I'm sorry. When we look at Magnolia Plaza, it was, I guess, about 6 months from the time they broke ground until the store opened for Magnolia Plaza. So they're, again, they try and get the stores open as fast as they can. VS says there's also going to be a fitness club at Olympia when it opens. I believe that's correct. I haven't seen the final plans. I got to submit an information request to the county to get those and look at them again. But that would make sense. They're trying to do that, it looks like, at pretty much most of the regional rec centers these days. The fitness clubs are an extra cost, though. There's a charge for the membership. You pay for convenience. Best thing I can tell you. Wow, we're coming up on the hour. So, any other questions people have? Again, please take a look at our sponsors. This week's sponsor is, of course, A Rack Above. It's a great storage solution, especially if you don't want to put things up in the attic. Your garage is much cooler than the attic. But if you do want to go into the attic, then Magic Stairs. I can't tell you how much I like the Magic Stairs. It's a phenomenal product, and you feel safe going up there. Not that rickety ladder, the little wooden one or the metal one. Those just scare the heck out of me. Let's see. Ebb says, not true about Publix. I worked for Publix, I worked for Publix IT, and they can tear down and replace in less than 9 months. Yeah, okay. Jerry Bell says, sounds like the Costco rumor of my rumor of my cousin's brother's barber's sister's mailman said. Yeah, I know. I always ask my barber when I get my haircut. I asked Joe, and he didn't know what was going on, and I don't think he cares. But there's a lot of building going on. Of course, there's the what do they call that? The Encore Encompass Rehab Hospital. That's coming along really quick. It's starting to take shape. Lots and lots of people working there. That's right there at the corner of the Turnpike and Megacin and Warm Springs. That's that big building that they're building. On the north side of Warm Springs, there's supposed to be a church going in there. I think it's Hope Lutheran Church. I don't remember exactly. I know they're holding their services now at Everglades on Sunday morning, and I'm not sure when they're going to be breaking ground. Let's see. Jerry says, "Are you still doing your home video business?" Yes, absolutely, we are. That is, it's an important service. If you're building and you're not going to be here to watch it go in, I go in 3 times a week, minimum 2, normally 3 times a week. We go and take pictures and shoot some video footage, do a drone overview of it, and upload them to a file share. And if you want the deluxe package, we'll put them up on YouTube for you so you can share with your friends and your family and make them jealous of where you're going to be moving. Still do that. It's I think it's an important service. and I look forward to doing it. I will tell you, to me, the homes, after over 250 homes, they all start to look the same. Eventually it's like, oh yeah, I recognize this floor plan. This is a Woodside or a Dove or whatever you want to call it. So yeah, but yes, still doing it. Yep. So Dana says, hello, not sure if you covered this. What are the stores going in on Warm Springs near Finney on the side of the road? So that is 7-Eleven right there at Warm Springs and US 301. Wow. So we are right at an hour. So let's see. Did I hear from the lawyers after your last video? No, I have not heard from the lawyers. I haven't heard from anybody. A lot of very positive comments. On this whole issue, I really want to thank everybody for their positive support on for what I and the other drone pilots do. This is near the. Okay. I'll get to back to your question there, Dana. But yeah, there's been a lot of positive support and some negative, of course. There's always the naysayers about what we do, I try and take it to the next level with the accuracy and level of detail. It takes a long time to put one of those videos together. Pretty much, if you see a minute of video footage, I've probably got an hour's worth of work into it. So a 30-minute video is a week's worth of work. So it takes quite a bit. It's a lot of late nights doing that. So near the fire station on Warm Springs, not 301. Okay. Yeah, I know where you're talking about. There are several commercial developments going in along Warm Springs Avenue. What's being put inside of them, they're not high on my radar to look at. It's something I can look at, but generally build out plans. They once they turn them in and they get approved, then they start building right away, and it's not long. I mean, when they do the build out of these strip malls and that, they want to get them open as quick as possible. Becky says, I stand with all the drone pilots. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. So, wow, everything is stopped. We still got almost 200 people on board, and thank you all for joining in. I try and give you good information. This is part of the rebranding that I'm doing. It's no longer Gold Wingnut Productions, it's Gold Wingnut Media. You can't read it on the bottom, but it says news and information as good as gold. I try and make it as good as gold, as accurate as possible. I'm not going to make things up if I don't know. I've seen that from some people that do informational broadcasts. We'll leave it at that. And you deserve better than that. So again, I try and be as accurate as humanly possible. Again, I've got a 5-minute short coming out, hopefully tomorrow afternoon. All I got to do is the voiceover, which only takes about 2 hours to do on that, even though it's 5 minutes long. Some really good information coming about Oak Hollow. So look forward to that. And of course, also 155, that's the flying for that will also start tomorrow. So look for that, hopefully next weekend. So, looks like the traffic has slowed down with the questions. So, we're at an hour. Here we go. Love the shorts, easy to see, specific info. The shorts are fun to do, but I find myself because I've been doing the longer videos for, years now, that it's hard to just limit myself to one or two topics because there's so much happening out there. I want to add more, but it's like, no, we got to hold off. Anyway, as always, I encourage you to find the good things in life. We're only here a short time, and we are blessed to live in this country. If you live here in the villages, it's also a blessing. That came from hard work from you during your working life. But enjoy the beverage tonight. Campo Vita Tequila Extra Anejo is tonight's drink of choice. Look for the good things. Enjoy life. That being said, I'm going to call it a day. Thanks, everyone. And we will see you next weekend. And again, look for the next 5-minute short, number 9, coming out. Everyone craves space and wants things to stay tidy, but climbing conventional attic stairs is risky, and renting storage is costly and inconvenient. A Rack Above has the solution. A freestanding overhead storage rack that requires no drilling, no attachment, and no garage cleaning. It's the safest, smartest, and strongest way to store your extra items at home and within reach. Your garage items are off the floor and your car is inside. Your peace of mind is restored. Be it in a patio villa or a premier home, a Rack Above fits your space and keeps you safe. Use it here, then take it to your next home. A Rack Above.